Come and listen to a radio station where
it's controlled chaos. South of the IE and the world on 1050 AM KCAA. NBC News Talk Radio.
Controlled chaos. KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. Also W4CY.com, K4HD.com. Check out the show on iHeartRadio, iHeart.com. I'm Gary Garver. We got a lot of things to talk about today, but I want to start off the show with a candidate that I am endorsing for LA County Sheriff because I need friends in the Sheriff's Department because I'm such a crazy maniac. It's Sheriff Bob Lindsay. Bob, how are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Gary. Thanks for having me back. I love being on your show because what you talk about is the truth, and that you're not censored. I love that.
Well, thank you very much. I try to be right down the middle. I'm not for one side or the other. I'm for I feel like for what's right for humanity and for people and stuff like that. And I think you're the same type of person. You're a people person, you know what I mean? And you're running for LA County Sheriff. The primary is next Tuesday. And listen, I just wrote down a few things that, you've been on the show about 3 or 4 times, and I love having you on the show. I'm just going to talk about a couple things that I know about you that maybe people don't know about you. You're going to clean up the jail system, correct?
Yeah, it needs to be cleaned up. Right now, it's out of control. You know what? Even deputies are calling me and telling me that. In fact, we have deputies transferring out of the jails because they themselves don't think it's safe anymore.
That's crazy. I mean, you're working in an environment, and deputies, and they're armed, too. They've got guns, correct?
Not inside that jail, Gary.
Oh, they don't? Okay, well, I did not know. Okay, listen, that's news to me. I thought they carried guns everywhere. So not in the jail. I guess not, because I guess I'm stupid. What can I say? But maybe some people don't know and don't understand that. You don't carry guns.
Yeah, you know what? You can't even carry a cell phone into the jail. And, that was a big deal here back a few years ago. So no phones, no guns, no drugs, although there's lots of it in there right now. But anyway, those things are banned from inside the jail.
Okay, so you can't. So the deputies don't even have guns, which is crazy. I think do they have mace or anything? Do they have anything?
Yeah. Well, they used to. I think they're still carrying some mace. Pepper spray is what we call it. But they use that in case there's a riot in there or something like that. But the problem with that too is that when you get it into the air system in the jail, then we go ahead and we pepper spray the whole jail.
Oh my God, it's crazy, man. I feel so sorry for those correctional officers. And by the way, I guess there's when you become a deputy, it's almost it's mandatory, isn't it, that you have to do like 2 or 3 years in like a jail system, like a correctional facility, before you can go on and be outside and do things like that?
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. In fact, we lose a lot of people who would want to come to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department because you have to do that jail time. And, that's going to be switched around. Once I'm in there, we have plans to go ahead and switch that around, get people to graduate from the academy and go straight to the streets where they should be going.
Exactly. Nobody wants to do that's like doing jail time. Hey, I get hired by the LA County Sheriffs, and then I got to do jail time for a couple of years. That's not. Yeah, you got to change that, Sheriff Bob. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, right now, Gary, deputies after graduation are sentenced to longer terms in jail than the criminals. So it's a little backwards right now.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool. Well, you're going to change that. That's very cool. Also, you're going to hire more deputies and make them feel wanted. Correct?
Yeah, right now there's about 1,200 deputies short out there, and the current sheriff that we have is saying that there's not enough qualified people. But I know there's people who are hearing this broadcast, and they would say, that's not true, because a lot of people out there that are qualified. He's just looking in all the wrong places. So, yeah, we have to hire a lot of deputies. Come June 5th, if everybody will get out there and vote and put me in there in a position of sheriff, then we're going to have a whole lot of job openings here, and we're going to fill them. We're going to fill them with good people, people who care about the community, people who want to serve, and people who will have a great career. It's a wonderful career with great benefits, and you can spend 30 years in this career without going anywhere else. And when you're all set and done, it's a very satisfying thing for you and your family.
Well, I know my friend Cliff Yates did 30 years, and now he's a comedian. So there you go. You can even have a second career. You know what I mean? So
well, yeah. Well, I know Cliff, and he was a comedian as a police officer too.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Yeah, he actually did. He actually did an open mic night at the Oyster House in Sherman Oaks in his uniform. It was like 6 months before he was going to retire. But he actually did it. He actually came in his uniform and did it. And Cliff's a nutcase.
Cliff was one of those guys that would go out on the streets though and make everybody happy. When you make somebody laugh, you make them happy.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you need more of now, and especially in the sheriff's department. The other thing, a couple other things that I'm noting is you're also going to make the sheriff's department more community friendly. You know how the police department, and LAPD, and the sheriff's departments gets a bad rap for not being community friendly and not caring about the community. You're going to go out there and actually have your deputies be more friendly to the community, to the citizens of Los Angeles.
Yeah, we've long had community-oriented policing, but the fact is you have to work at it to make it work in the community. When the current guy came into office, he got rid of a whole lot of community groups. We had community groups for every ethnicity, you name it, we had it. And, whether it was the Asian, whether it was the Armenian, whether it was the black community, there were advisory committees that used to come into the sheriff's department, sit down, that were filled with whether they were pastors, businessmen, housewives, fathers, coaches. It didn't matter. We wanted people inside the department from the community to tell us what is going on, how is it going. Well, when he came in, he eliminated all those groups, and we're going to bring them back. We're going to bring that back. We're going to bring the clergy groups back. And we are going to get way into the community so that we can figure this out and get it right for all.
Well, that's awesome, and that's what we need. We need more. We need the police department, the LA County Sheriff's Department, and the community to come together, because it's just crazy what goes on. Every day you see in the news there's some crazy story about somebody getting shot or something going on or somebody. It's just insanity. I'm glad you're going to do that. And the other thing is you're going to work with something close to my heart. You're going to work with the cannabis industry.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get right down to the bottom line. Cannabis was made legal for adults, for rec use here in California. Now, in order to run a facility, you have to come up not only with money, but you have to follow a boatload of regulation. And that regulation is there to protect the user, is there to protect the community, is there to protect a whole lot of people. Now, yesterday I was out at an illegal dispensary. These are folks that are basically taking the cannabis. There are no controls. A lot of this stuff that people are smoking out there is laced with pesticides, it's laced with all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And they don't realize it, but sometime in their life they're going to end up with cancer. They're going to end up with all other byproducts, not even knowing who gave it to them. But here's the bottom line with it: when you can regulate the industry and you can go after the illegal industry, then that takes it out of the hands of our kids. And that's my goal. My goal is, if you're 21 and over and you want to go ahead and make that decision, great for you. But when you're less than 18 or less, you know what? We don't want it in your hands until you're at that 21 age. So we've got a lot of work to do. But I'll tell you what, because right now there's probably somewhere in the area of 100 or more illegal cannabis dispensaries working here in just Los Angeles County.
Wow.
And that's not okay. That's not okay. We need to regulate this. And that takes leadership. It takes somebody to put this all together. It takes the proper formatting, the proper rules. But we're going to work on that. We're going to get it right. And in the end, the cannabis industry, the legal industry, has told me that they'll work with me to also funnel money into the education side so that we can educate the kids. Because you know what? That's not what they want. They stay completely away. If a legal industry is selling to minors, they'll lose their license immediately.
Well, that sounds awesome. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You're in the progressive LA. You're going to be the most progressive LA County sheriff we've ever had. Listen, go vote Tuesday. It's the primary is June 5th. Vote for Sheriff Bob Lindsay for LA County Sheriff. You just heard what he's going to do. I mean, this is unbelievable. It's great stuff. And by the way, I'm seeing your bumper stickers. There's one behind me right here at the Control Chaos Studio in Encino. They're everywhere. I saw your TV commercial, man. I mean, listen, you're doing it, Bob. You're gonna do it. And by the way, I guess if the other dude, we're not gonna name his name because he's a douche. But anyways, you don't have to say that. But if he doesn't get 50%, or hopefully you'll get 50%, right? But if you guys both don't get 50%, there's a runoff in November, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. If one, there's 3 candidates. I'm one of them. I'm the winner, by the way.
I know you're gonna win.
If you get 50% plus 1 vote, the election is over. That's it. There is no November. If nobody gets 50%, then we have to keep going on through this all the way to November. But we want to end it on June 5th. So
I hear you.
Please go out and vote.
Go out and vote for Sheriff Bob Lindsay. Every vote counts. Even if it's 50 plus 1 vote, that 1 vote could be yours to get Sheriff Bob Lindsay elected to LA County Sheriff. And Bob, good luck, man. I'm going to be out there voting for you. I've been talking about it, and I can't wait for you to become LA County Sheriff so I can get that get-out-of-jail-free card from you, okay?
Yeah, okay. Gary, God bless you. God bless your station, man.
God bless you, man. Good luck. All right, it's Sheriff Bob Lindsay. Go out there and vote for him on Tuesday, June 5th. He's a great candidate, man. I mean, this guy is progressive. He knows what he's doing. He's been an LA County Sheriff for 30 years. And he's going to do reform. He's going to reform the the sheriff's department, and he's going to help with the communities and with the cannabis industry. It's fantastic. All right, it is Control Chaos, KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. I'm Gary Garver. We'll be back with more. I guess Kim Kardashian met with Trump. Yes. Okay. I'm serious. All right, we'll be back after this.
It's Controlled Chaos, stomping the IE and the world on 1050 AM KCAA, NBC News Talk Radio.
Are you having trouble getting a good night's sleep? Is it affecting your work and personal life? Do you snore so loud that you rattle the walls? Well, South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out. South Pacific Sleep Lab will provide you with a personal sleep study to help you find out how to get a great night of rest. Snoring, weight gain, health issues, and stress are some of the contributing factors for lack of sleep. South Pacific Sleep Lab will do a complete study, including evaluating you with an overnight study of your sleep patterns. With locations in Glendora, Anaheim, Encino, and Los Angeles, South Pacific Sleep Lab can provide you with the help you need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by calling 310-999-1887. to schedule an appointment today. That's 310-999-1887. Start resting easy and sleeping sound today.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. If you want to join my gang, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. If you want to be in the program where you feel you're so busy you don't have time to learn, you're so busy you don't have 2 seconds to give to it, then do my video program where I will take a stock like we took our oil stock. I do a video after my radio show on those couple stocks, and I explain what to do. It's like a self-help video, and it just tells you when to buy it, and then as we're going along, I'll tell you, okay, time to add to your position, or I may say it's time to take off some of your shares, or I'll say to you, it's time to run like hell. The biggest benefit is we're going to reach out to you, and we're going to help you, and then we hope you reach back and help St. Jude.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
This is Gary Garver, and I've written a book called Radio Blows. It's all about my career in the radio business, my time with the Howard Stern Show, and celebrity interviews, my top 10 cool celebrities and my top 10 uncool celebrities. Here's a sample of a couple cool ones, and a couple uncool ones.
Make a citizen's arrest on me?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this stuff here.
Yeah?
All right, I'm holding you. Call,
Yeah.
get the marshal.
Get the
see.
marshal?
We'll see who's wrong. We'll see
You
who's
gonna get the
wrong.
marshal right now?
We'll see who's wrong.
Are you one of the scary morning people who are going to ask horrible things? You got that look. Are you?
Do I have that look?
You do. You got the look like, watch me do something I would have in second grade.
If you're forced into gay sex, who would you choose?
I don't get forced into anything.
Thanks a lot, Jack.
If you were on a desert island and you had a choice of making love to Pamela Lee or Janet Reno, who would you choose?
That's a question I don't want to answer because my wife might be listening to the show.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, Radio Blows, available now on Amazon, Amazon.com, and Kindle. Radio Blows. If you want to get in the radio business or find out the inner workings of radio, it's a must-read book.
This is Judge Herb Dodell, and our show is called For the People. It's available every Monday at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5. And we'll be talking about all kinds of things pertaining to the law and how it really works from the inside as opposed to the outside. So tune in and learn all you need to know about the legal system and how it works.
Have you ever sneezed and farted at the same time?
Gosh, I must have dumped that information, no pun intended. I can't remember that question. It's a good question, high quality question. I honestly can't remember. I would imagine so. I would imagine that force of the fart would cause the sneeze.
Gary Garver and Chicken Jones. Controlled Chaos. NBC Talk Radio, KCAA 1050 AM.
From the four corners of the world, dumbing down his IQ so you can understand him. It's Gary Garver.
All right, it's Control Chaos, KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. I'm Gary Garver. And before I go on with the show, my uncle, Bob Barrow, had a stroke yesterday. And I just want to wish him the best and send my prayers out to my cousins and family members and things like that. It's my mom's brother, and he's in the hospital right now, and we don't know how bad it is yet. But I just want to send my prayers out to him. He was a good dude. I remember going to whenever I stayed with my grandmother in Long Beach. He was living there with my grandmother at the time, and I would basically kick him out of his room. my grandmother, my nana, would let me stay in his room, and he'd end up sleeping on the couch. And I had a lot of good memories with him going to the drag races. First time I ever went to the drag races was at the Lions Club Speedway, if you don't remember that. It's torn down many, many years ago, but he took me to the first drag race I've ever seen, and we threw the football around, and good guy. So anyways, I'm sending my prayers out to my Uncle Bob, and hopefully he'll be okay, and he'll get through this and survive, and move on with his life. So anyways, had to throw that out there. And Mom, I'll be seeing you later on, I don't know, today or tomorrow, and probably pick her up and bring her back to LA to see him and stuff like that. So anyways, I don't want to be a downer, but I just want to throw that out there because, that's really what life's about, your family and things like that. And you never know when just a twist of fate, you know what I mean? Just boom, just out of the blue, it hits you, and it sort of shakes you all up and shakes things up in your life. So anyways, hey, listen, this Kim Kardashian, okay, so I've been bashing Kim Kardashian for how many years? Since I've been on the air, since they did their show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, since they did the sex tape, since this, and that. I've always said that Kardashian pee is the kiss of death for any guy that touches it or gets near it. Careers end. You go mentally insane, like Kanye West did last year during Thanksgiving. Lamar Odom OD'd over Khloe Kardashian's. So you got to be very careful with that Kardashian pee. Anyways, I guess Kim Kardashian met with Donald Trump yesterday about prison reform. I mean, Kim Kardashian talking about prison reform. So anyways, she also had dinner with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner last night. So you know where her bread is buttered, right? Didn't Kanye West go over to the Trump Tower during the election or after the election and was wearing "Make America Great Again," a hat, things like that. So anyways, I guess the Kardashians are Trump supporters. Kardashian met with Trump to do like I said, prison reform, and also to lobby to pardon Alice Marie Johnson, a great-grandmother convicted of drug trafficking. Okay, so I guess this woman, Alice Marie Johnson, there's no possibility. She got busted in a federal sting. According to the Associated Press, Johnson helped lead a multi-million-dollar cocaine ring from 1991 to 1994. At her sentencing, U.S. District Judge Julia Gibbons said that Johnson was the quintessential entrepreneur in the operation, and clearly the impact of the 2,000 to 3,000 kilograms of cocaine in the community. She was tried on cocaine conspiracy and money laundering charges. Anyways, Johnson said that she got involved in the drug trade at a particularly bad time in her life. Her son had died in a motorcycle crash, and her marriage had ended in divorce. She also had lost her job, causing financial strain. But anyways, yeah, she's doing life in federal prison without the possibility of parole. All 15 of her cohorts testified against her and walked away free. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's a great-grandmother, for Christ's sake. Maybe they should pardon her. That's why Kim Kardashian met with Trump yesterday at the White House to go for prison reform. But I think it was more to lobby for this Alice Marie Johnson and trying to get her out of jail. So anyways, I guess, you know, listen, I'll give Kim Kardashian the benefit of the doubt for this one. You know, I mean, at least he's trying to do something good instead of just trying to rake everybody's money. You know what I mean? All these young girls that want to grow up to be a Kardashian. I want to grow up to be a Kardashian and have sex with NBA players and you know, screw all these other little girls out of their money. I mean, that's how I see them. I'm sorry. Up until now, they haven't done a damn thing for anybody. And I said if they did something, I would talk about it. Well, Kardashian met with Trump, and Kim Kardashian met with Trump, and lo and behold, maybe there will be prison reform. You got to do something about the jail system at times, man, because I think a lot of people get screwed over for these trumped up offense, especially, you know, anybody in jail for dealing weed, just dealing marijuana. I'm not talking about dealing cocaine or heroin or any of that other stuff or meth. I'm talking about marijuana. Anybody in jail for dealing marijuana should be let out right now. That is just totally ridiculous. It's crazy. All right, another thing, Howard Stern. You know, I worked for the Howard Stern Show for 20 years. Okay, I did interviews for him for like 10 of those years. I produced his radio show on KLSX 97.1 in Los Angeles from 1991 to 2006. I was the first West Coast producer of the Howard Stern Show. Anyways, I guess Howard went on David Letterman. David Letterman has a show on Netflix now called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. Anyways, I guess he went on there and said that he was an a-hole. Really, Howard? You actually admitted that you're a complete a-hole? He said that he had OCD. Okay, and he says, I was a young man full of rage. Of course you were. Anybody who listened to your show knows you were full of rage. I mean, you know, you raked on everybody. You tore everybody a new a-hole, even people that you worked with, even foot soldiers like me. I mean, every time, listen, I'm going to play a little clip right now, okay, of me being on Howard. I used to come on the show. Okay, he was gracious enough. Well, listen, I worked for the show for 20 years. I put my ass on the line doing those stupid interviews for 10 of those years. And every now and then I'd ask him to throw me a bone and let me come on the show to plug something, you know, or talk about something. So I'd fly into New York. And, well, before I do that, somebody's calling me right now. Hold on, I got to do this interview real quick, all right? And then we'll get into the Howard Stern stuff. Oh, they hung up on me. Okay, well, when they call back, we'll have them back on. Anyways, so, you know, every now and then I'd ask them to just let me plug, you know, I had this Escape.tv. It was an internet TV network, you know, GaryGarver.com. You know, I just wanted to get, you know, so I'd fly out to New York and come on and show. So here's Howard and me. I was on his show. Here's me in studio with Howard. Okay, I think we're here. Are we here? Maybe we're not.
Garver, who was such a great Gary Garver was such a great reporter for us.
Hold on.
Is
he here?
Yeah.
Higher, also iHeartRadio, iHeart. Hold on, you got to hear the beginning of it. This is what I'm talking about.
Gone. Yes, I am gone.
Yeah, but anyways, Howard said he was. He went to psychotherapy, by the way. Psychotherapy helped him out tremendously. Okay. Hold on, here we go.
Wood. Is that wood?
Oh, stop. I'm just playing. This is just a replay. Just
my favorite bits and moments.
All right, here we go.
Controlled Chaos
radio show.
Hey, this is, I don't want to say it's a mercy booking, but Gary Garver, who's such a great...
See, this is what I'm saying. The first thing he says, it's a mercy booking. I'm a mercy booking, for Christ's sake. I mean, give me a break, Howard. You know, come on, dude. I mean, this is how we always talked about me. You know, it's just, it was disturbing. You know, I look back at, you know, at the time, I didn't care, and I thought it was a joke. I'm all right. Howard's talking about me and blah blah blah. But now that I listen to it, like 15 years later, I'm like, it's hurtful. Okay, here we go with the call. All right, hold on. Hello, you're on the Control Chaos Radio Show.
Hey guys, this is Paul Irigo from New York Watermaker.
New York Watermaker, how you doing? You know,
I'm doing well. How are you?
This is Gary Garver. Do you know who I am?
I do.
You do? How do you know me? From Joaquin or from other places? Other unknown? Okay. So,
well, I know you from the connection that we made with my VP of Sales, Gary Lane. But I mean, I recognize you from the Howard Stern show from Once Upon a Time.
Did you hear about Howard opening up about going to psychotherapy and that he had OCD?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was an avid listener for many years.
Oh, so you heard some of my interviews, I guess, celebrity interviews, right?
Absolutely.
Of course you did. Okay, listen. So, Paul, tell us what New York Watermaker is. What is New York Watermaker?
So, New York Watermaker is a revolutionary product that basically changes the molecular structure of a water molecule to match any other water in the world. Meaning that we can go to Little Rock, Arkansas, and produce authentic New York City water that they can use. And what the product does is it's literally changing the world by allowing restaurants, pizzerias, bakeries, bagel stores, and any franchise that's out there to replicate a specific taste of water. So now anybody in the world, any restaurant in the world can have authentic New York style or New York pizza, bagels, bread, or anything. So this is it really is a revolutionary product that's never been out there before, and we get great response to it.
All right, let me ask you something about New York water, because I didn't know this, okay? What I heard is New York water's got some sort of it's a different type of water. Like I always thought, I'm being perfectly honest here. This is how I do the show. I thought New York water, New York City water, is it New York City water or New York water from the Niagara Falls or something? Because I thought New York water would be like poisonous. It's the farthest thing from the truth, correct?
It is definitely the furthest from the truth. So if you do a little bit of homework, so all of the water that comes down into New York City is coming from up in the Croton, up by the Catskills. And it's coming down as fresh water, and there are literally hundreds of millions of dollars invested into a filtration system that comes down that keeps this water super pure. So as it comes through all of New York City, and again, if you do your homework, even WebMD identifies New York City as some of the cleanest, safest drinking water in the world. And what it does is basically the characteristics of the water itself is perfect for cooking. And a lot of people in the culinary world identify New York water as the champagne of water for drinking and or cooking, because it has characteristics of the pH levels, the alkalinity levels, the chlorine levels, the conductivity levels. All these things are perfect for the yeast to react in dough, for bread making, crispiness of it, the way it rises, the way it tastes. And the result is really just crisp, clean, healthy, safe, great tasting, great smelling drinking water. And that's what we're replicating.
I'm in shock. I mean, I would never think that New York water would be some of the cleanest water in the world. And it has some sort of special not chemicals, but properties that makes it special. Like, because I mean, when I go to New York, and I was just going to play a bit where I went to the Howard Stern show and was in New York. When I go there, the food is different. I mean, the pizza's different, the bagels are different, everything's different. And you're saying that's attributed to the water, New York water?
Absolutely. Again, doing a little bit of homework, you talk to great chefs that are out there, great pizza makers, #1 rated on Zagat all these experts are going to tell you that, of course, there's other ingredients, time, temperature, humidity in different areas, but the majority of the product is the water. So anything that has to do with, again, breads and cooking, anything that has to rise, bagels, that's why that you can't really replicate a New York City bagel anywhere in the world. It's because the water is 70% of that product, So it is the water that makes the difference.
That's wild. And even in California, I mean, are people in California importing this New York water?
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm right here. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hola? I don't know. Maybe we lost it. Listen, I'm gonna take a break real quick. And then we'll get Paul back on there. Yeah, New York water, is that crazy? That's unbelievable, man. That New York water has these properties that make all the food taste so much better. I didn't even know this, and I'll get him back on the phone after the break, and then we'll find out about his product and how to get a hold of it. Because I mean, did you know New York water was that clean? You think of New York water and like the sewers and the trash and how dirty it is, and it's got the cleanest water around. All right. Control K. I got OCD. I need psychotherapy. All right. Too funny, Howard. You're too funny. All right. We'll be back after this.
All aboard the Inland Empire Express. 10:50 a.m. Leaving no listeners behind. KCAA.
Hi, I'm Phil Grady, philsgang.com. If you want to join my gang, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. If you want to be in the program where you feel you're so busy you don't have time to learn, you're so busy you don't have 2 seconds to give to it, then do my video program where I will take a stock like we took our oil stock. I do a video after my radio show on those couple stocks, and I explain what to do. It's like a self-help video, and it just tells you when to buy it, and then as we're going along, I'll tell you, okay, time to add to your position, or I may say it's time to take off some of your shares, or I'll say to you, it's time to run like hell. The biggest benefit is we're going to reach out to you, and we're going to help you, and then we hope you reach back and help St. Jude.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Are you having trouble getting a good night's sleep? Is it affecting your work and personal life? Do you snore so loud that you rattle the walls? Well, South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out. South Pacific Sleep Lab will provide you with a personal sleep study to help you find out how to get a great night of rest. Snoring, weight gain, health issues, and stress are some of the contributing factors for lack of sleep. South Pacific Sleep Lab will do a complete study, including evaluating you with an overnight study of your sleep patterns. With locations in Glendora, Anaheim, Encino, and Los Angeles, South Pacific Sleep Lab can provide you with the help you need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by calling 310-999-1887 to schedule an appointment today. That's 310-999-1887. Start resting easy and sleeping sound today.
If you could murder one celebrity, who would it be and why?
Murder them? Wow.
Name one.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm running the Rolodex. Murder one celebrity. Oh, yeah. Actually, there's a few. Can I give you 3?
Yeah.
Okay. I need, here's 3 people I need killed. Paul Giamatti, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I'm going to throw in Oliver Platt. Because they're really, and I'm going to throw in John C. Reilly. Throw them all in. I need these 4 guys in an elevator that drops, like 150 floors. Because they seem to be the guys that I always go up against, and they're winning. And I'm tired of it.
So they're getting your parts.
They're getting my stuff. You understand what I'm saying? I had a little taste of success. It's been a little cold for a while. They're hot. I need them out.
Thanks a lot, Jason.
All right, man.
This is the Gary Garver Show. If you're not listening to Gary, you.
That was George Costanza, a.k.a. Jason Alexander. All right. It is Control Chaos, KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. I'm Gary Garver. I got Paul back on the phone. Paul Arago, he's the CEO for New York Water Maker. Paul, are you there, right? Hello?
I am here.
Oh, cool. So tell us a little bit about the product that you're making, or people can get this anywhere in the country, right?
Anywhere in the world, we are manufacturing and shipping out New York water makers because the need, for there is an absolute demand for people everywhere you go around the world. Every city in the United States and every country that you go to, you get off an airplane and you see pizzerias and bagel stores everywhere. New York pizza, New York style, New York everywhere. So the demand is there worldwide. We have some units going out to New Zealand. We got some going out to Canada. And people actually in Europe are looking to replicate Naples, Italy water all throughout northern Italy. And our system can actually replicate any water source in the world. We choose New York because it's the most popular one where that's replicated out there. But we have franchises that want us to replicate San Francisco water, Naples water, and even Chicago, good deep dish Chicago-style pizzas. So we can replicate any water. Marketing reasons wise and demand wise, we chose New York Water Maker as the name of the company.
All right, so let me ask you that. I mean, what is it? Do you put it on a faucet, or how's it work?
So the unit, one of the best selling features of the unit itself, it's a compact unit that's only 3 feet by 2 feet by 16.5 inches, which is a fraction of any other water filtration system that's out there. So this is something that can go under a counter or hung up on a wall. And what it does is the water goes in from their water source. We have to get a water sample from the company. Our science team actually breaks it down so then we can custom create the process, and we change the molecules from that source water into any other water that they want, mostly New York City water. So what it does is it goes through this process, and it not only is a water replication system, but it also filters the water. It's a water softener, a water descaler, and an actual disinfectant. So it's safe, pure, bacteria-free water that's coming out. So it goes through this stage process through the entire system with very little to no maintenance, and it also uses up to 99% of the water that's going through. So it blows away anything that calls itself a competitor out there. But for a restaurant or anybody who wants to use the system, basically we need a water source in, and then the system is designed to have 3 ports out so it can attack their cooking areas. The ice machine, so they can have good ice in their beverages, and their soda fountains. And even for bakeries, it goes to their steam ovens, the finishing process. There's a ton of uses out there for any type of food manufacturing and beverages. So we have breweries right now, microbreweries. They're saying this is a dream for them because now they're not limited to have to ship their product all over the world because their source product is in their hometown with their water, like distilleries, like Jack Daniels. You follow me.
Yeah, I dig it. No, that sounds great, man. Because I'm always skeptical about whenever because I like drinking water in my meals and stuff like that. I mean, I'll have a beer or a cocktail, but I always get a glass of water with it. And I'm always skeptical, like, where did this water come from? Where did this ice come from? I'm not joking. I mean, I get a little paranoid about it at times. You know what I mean? Because you don't know. I mean, I remember when I was working at the golf course, we'd fill those jugs with ice and basically the a hose from the car park. You know what I mean? And it was like, I wouldn't ever drink this crap. You know what I mean? So that's really far out, man. I could even be for golf courses, I guess. Everything, huh?
Everybody. So we have a couple of places in Las Vegas, nightclubs. They don't serve any food. But this one particular place has 9 ice machines because they're serving beverages constantly.
Right.
And, bad water, dirty water in their ice cubes going into a real good cocktail is going to ruin it. So they're all excited because we didn't install them yet. They have 9 ice machines, and they're all excited because this also eliminates all the algae and the bacteria buildup that usually have to clean out once a week in the ice machine. So it keeps it safe, clean, and pure.
If they clean it out. Anyways. I'm not talking about that club. I'm talking about some other places of business. That's
I'm with you. And it's always questionable. So at least with a New York water maker, if it's a certified New York water maker location, you're getting clean ice with no bacteria.
I dig it. Well, listen, man, thanks for calling in. Paul Arago is the CEO of New York Water Maker. Paul, if somebody wants to find out more information about it, where do they go?
Sure. They can go to www.newyorkwatermaker.com, www.newyorkwatermaker.com, or call us toll-free at 866-885-1522. 866-885-1522, NewYorkWatermaker.com, Our reps are waiting for anybody who wants to call, interested. We'll do free water samples from any area. So anytime, anyway, and I really appreciate you putting us on the air, and I enjoy the conversation. I'm a big fan.
Well, thanks, Paul. It was fascinating when Joaquin told me about this, and like, New York water is like the cleanest water in the country. I'm like, give me a break, man. But it's now that you explain it to me, it sounds good, man. I'll have to try some of this, and I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna go, hey, do you when I go to these restaurants, I'm serious. I go, do you have a New York water maker? Because your water might be dirty.
I said, we envision that we're going to change the world, and we do want to educate the public that when they are starting to walk into locations, they're going to look for a sign on the window of all the restaurants and the nightclubs and the bakeries, certified New York water maker location, so they know that they're getting crisp, clean, healthy, and safe water that's in all their products and what they're drinking at the table.
I dig it, man. I dig it. Well, listen, Paul, thanks for calling in. Have a good weekend, and I'll be checking it in. I'll be checking out New York Water Maker. Check it out. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, Gary.
You got it. All right, cool. So did you know that? I mean, did you know New York water is like some of the cleanest water in the world? I mean, I had no clue at all. I mean, I guess that's why the pizzas are so good there. I don't know if you've ever been to New York City or whatever, Manhattan. You got to get a pizza there. It's amazing, and the bagels are just the food there. I don't know about New York City, man, or Manhattan. There's just something different about the food, and maybe it's the water. It could be the water. It sounds like it's the water. So, anyways, check it out, NewYorkWatermaker.com. I just thought it was really cool. I'm like, New York water, man. I mean, I go to Manhattan, man, and I'm walking down, Fifth Avenue or something like in 46, and I'm like, man, it stinks. There's trash everywhere and people everywhere and stuff like that. But there is a certain beauty and vibe about New York City and Manhattan and stuff like that. If you've never been, go down to Times Square. It's amazing how many. Everything's just so big too. Like Times Square. Like all the signs are huge. It's not like McDonald's. Regular McDonald's signs might be 100 times bigger than a normal McDonald's sign or whatever it is. So, anyways, check it out, NewYorkWatermaker.com. All right, listen, I got some time. Let's play some of this Howard Stern stuff. Like I said, Howard Stern opened up about psychotherapy and OCD, and he said, I was a young man full of rage. You can see the interview. I guess David Letterman has a new show on Netflix called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. It's going to be out. I guess they did like a 3-parter, and Letterman interviewed Stern and basically talked to, and Howard went into how angry he was and how he has OCD. And that he's changed now, and he feels bad about how he was. But guess what? That's what made him millions of dollars. I mean, Howard's like, oh, I'm so sorry I did this, but you know what? The bottom line is he did it for years and years and years and years, and really busted balls on all sorts of people. In fact, I called him up on the Magic Johnson thing. He called Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson got the HIV virus. Howard went off on Magic Johnson, said, oh, he shouldn't have been screwing around with all these women, and he was like an animal and things like that. Nowadays, he'd probably be thrown off the air like Roseanne Barr for what he said about Magic Johnson. So I literally wrote Howard a 6-page letter and faxed it to him in the morning because I used to produce the show. I'd get up there, and produce the show from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. And Howard started reading this is like the first 5 months of Howard being in Los Angeles back in 1991. And, I'm a huge Laker fan. I was a huge Magic Johnson fan. It was, if you remember that back in 1991 when Magic Johnson announced he had HIV, everybody thought he was going to die, like within a year or two. Because we didn't know anything about HIV, and there was no help for HIV at the time, no cures or anything. And we thought it was a death sentence. And then Howard just went off on Magic, and I just like, hey, man, I can't take this. This is BS. It was like literally, it was like 4 months into the show, and I wrote him a 6-page letter, and he started reading it on the air, and then he called me on the air. I wish I had that call. I wish I could get that call. And he said, you don't want to be a part of my team and blah, blah, blah. And I thought I was literally, I'm like, yeah, I do. He says, no, I'm going to have to talk to Andy Bloom about getting rid of you, and who's the program director. And I ran into Andy. I was leaving in the morning, and I felt sort of bad. I'm like, oh, I probably lost my job. And I saw Andy, and I go, Andy, did you hear the call? And he goes, yeah. I go, am I okay? Am I fired? He goes, no, man. I talked to Howard. He said he loved the call. So there you go. All right, here's a little bit of me with Howard I don't know, in New York City, many moons
Gary
ago.
Garver was such a great reporter for us.
Is he here?
Yeah, he called Gary up and he said, look, I got to promote my website. Would you guys have me on? And if you do, I promise I won't bother you for another year. So we love Gary and we'll have him in. There he is. What do you mean?
He's so funny.
I said it's not a mercy booking.
Did you say it's not? I thought you said it is.
No, I said it's not a mercy booking. Hi, Gary Garver.
You said it's almost a mercy.
No, I said it's not a mercy booking, but Gary did say to Baba Vui, if you put me on, look, I need help with this website. If you guys put me on, I won't bother you for a year about coming on.
Promise?
I did promise that.
Yeah. So this is the last time we'll see you for a year, and I'm sad to see you gone.
We're going to miss you.
If you can make that promise for 2 3/4 years, we might be gone by the next time you ask. So
thanks a lot, Artie. And I brought you a present here today.
I like Gary. No,
you know, for
Gary's
those...
always sending holiday presents. I want to thank you.
Yeah, you got my note about the wine, right?
Yes, I did.
He sent me 2 bottles of wine for holidays. It was very nice of you.
Yeah, I actually went up to Paso Robles and sent like a case of wine to Howard and Robin and Gary and all of them. I used to go up to Paso Robles and I mean, you know, me and Howard had a great relationship at one point. And then, you know, one thing led to another and it ended. I have no bitter memories towards it except for them screwing me over on you know, A Day in the Life, where I worked like 6-7 months on that. It was a TV production where I followed a porn star around a day in the life of a porn star. And Howard TV took the idea and ran with it and did like 6 or 7 episodes on Howard TV and didn't pay me a dime, didn't give me anything, used the name A Day in the Life. We actually shot in Vegas. I had a crew in Los Angeles come down to Vegas. They had a crew from New York fly into Las Vegas. We spent 4 days shooting it. You know, I don't really blame Howard. I blame Howard for not like having my back on this and not giving me a dime. Actually, he's making $100 million a year. He couldn't throw me a friggin' bone after all the friggin' work I did for him. But I blame Doug Goodstein for completely screwing me over. I mean, I have 40, 50 emails on this. And anyways, thanks for keep on moving the chair like that. I appreciate it. It's one we'll talk about it later. All right. Anyways, I'm hearing the squeaks and I'm trying to talk at the same time. It is what it is. All right. So anyways, you know, I do blame Doug Goodstein. He really screwed me over. I mean, you know, he led me on to believe that I was going to get paid. I was going to do like 6 or 7 episodes of this stuff. And then I got nothing. And that was the end of it for me. That was the end of the Howard Stern relationship for me. I still did interviews for about another year, but I was just like, I was so pissed off about that I said, F them. They completely screwed me over after all the hard work and all the time I put into the show. I mean, busting my balls, producing the show and going out and doing the celebrity interviews and getting them great content. And I didn't get paid a penny. Howard's making out, just signed the $100 million a year contract for 5 years, $500 million. They couldn't throw me any money. And people are like, why didn't you sue him? Why didn't you sue him? I'm going to sue Howard Stern for what, $40,000, $50,000? He'll bury my ass. Okay. I mean, he would just have me tied up in court. I wouldn't get a penny. In fact, I'd probably lose $50,000. So that was the reason I didn't sue him, because there was no chance. I talked to a couple of my friends who were lawyers and I said, you're not going to get anything. They're going to bury
Gary,
you in court.
And that's why I had you on today.
Thanks. Not for all the great work, huh?
It worked.
You have done some great work. Let me remind people, for those of you who don't know who Gary Garver is, he's always out in L.A. for us, and whenever we ask, he goes out and he does interviews with different people.
The tough questions.
He really does. I'll play a couple of what I think are some of his most fun. Now, who couldn't worship Gary Garver's interviewing techniques after hearing him at the Star Wars convention? He is responsible for this interview, which we love. First, it's 2 interviews that stand out from the Star Wars convention this past year. Gary goes there, and the first person he runs into is Gamorrean Guard. A guy dressed up in Gamorrean Guard. And what makes this so stellar is this guy won't even take off his mask for the interview.
He's doing the interview through the mask.
Yes, indeed.
You got to be impressed. Gary Garver, the winner of many FMEs, right here.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Hey, man. Hey, how you doing?
okay.
Who are you?
Gamorrean Guard.
You're who?
The Gamorrean Guard.
The Gamorrean Guard?
Yeah.
How do you address the stereotype that all Star Wars fans are nerds?
I can't hear you.
How do you address the stereotype that all Star Wars fans are nerds?
There's a lot of good fans out there. I enjoy them. They enjoy Theater Vegas.
Have you ever picked up a chick by talking to her about Star Wars?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how many?
Oh, I don't count.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And do you live with your mother still?
No.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
Good morning, guard.
Oh, that's the best.
Good morning, guard. What, you think Star Wars people are nerds? Oh, no. Anybody who talks to a mask is a nerd.
He's so disappointed to ask the question he's been asked a million times. Do you live with your mother? He's like, no.
And this one's great, too. I mean, we really had no concept of who Darth Nihilus was in the Star Wars.
Oh, he loves this interview. I really don't see any value in this interview, but this one, I mean, he just flipped over. Stern played this over and over. I still think they play this, and every time I put something on Facebook, they go, somebody says, I'm Darth Nihilus, you know. So anyways, I don't get it, but anyways, you know, here we go.
Movies. And after Gary Garver's incredible interview.
You know what? That was the first interview I did there.
This one was first.
That was the first one I did.
You almost
Star
got
Wars
into a fight, yeah.
Darth Nihilus is now famous.
Yeah, we love Darth Nihilus. We wish we could find this guy.
I know. I'm surprised that he hasn't popped up somewhere.
No, nowhere to be found.
Tell him now. Who are you?
I am Darth Nihilus.
Do you still live at home with your mother?
No, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh, good. Do you kind of sound like you do.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel gay for being so into Star Wars?
No, do you?
I'm not into Star Wars.
Oh, that's too bad, then.
Not really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dress up like that, dude.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Have you ever picked up a chick by talking to her about Star Wars?
No.
No?
Have you?
Have I?
Yeah.
Don't talk about it, dude.
Okay.
All right.
You seem to be talking about it a lot today.
Well, I'm asking people like you who are freaky looking.
I see.
Oh. Why are you getting so offended, man?
I'm not. When you act like an when people treat you like that, don't be surprised.
Hey, what else you got to say to me? You're an grossing like that.
Unbelievable. Darth Nihilus.
Yeah, that was classic, man. That's probably one of my favorite. I mean, you know, coming on the Stern Show was always cool to go down to New York and stuff like that. It was fun to go out to New York. But anyways, yeah, Howard Stern finally admits he has OCD and went to psychotherapy. I can just say I've never been to psychotherapy. I don't have OCD. But then again, I don't make $100 million a year either. All right, it is Controlled Chaos, KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. I'm Gary Garver. I just want to once again wish my Uncle Bob prayers, and God bless him. I hope he makes a full recovery, and I'll let you guys know how he's doing maybe tomorrow or over the weekend. All right, you guys take care. God bless. I'll see you mañana.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone and actor out alone. Riders on the storm. There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. Take a long holiday. Let your children play. If you give this man a ride, sweet family will die. Killer on the road. Yeah.
Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106 KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
CNBC. Stocks are struggling on news that President Trump has imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum coming in from Europe, Canada, and Mexico. Those countries are expected to retaliate. Lots of red on the screen. The Dow is down 257 points. The Nasdaq down 14. The S&P is also down 14 points. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross tells CNBC that the markets will adjust to any surprises on trade out of the Trump administration. Oil prices are up a little this morning. The U.S. stockpiles dropped more than expected last week. Struggling